Okay, we're going to talk about the Persian scale. The Persian scale use half step, whole step, and whole and a half step. Okay, so we pay attention on where the half step and the whole and a half is. Okay, and if it's not whole and a half or a half, then it's a whole step. Okay, this is the formula: half step at the first and the second, the third and the fourth, the fourth and the fifth. There are half step there. A whole and a half step at the second and the third, and the sixth and the seventh. Okay, apply this formula to the 12th key of the Persian scale. Let's start with the C. Right now C is the first. First to second is a half step, so it's a C sharp. Second to third is a whole and a half. So it's a D, E. Third to fourth is a half step, so it's an F. Fourth to fifth is a half step, so it's an F sharp. Fifth to sixth, it's not in here, so it's a full step. Okay. 6 to 7 is a half step. That means a whole and a half. So it's a B. And then back to the 8. One octave for you right here. First is 8. You have a C Persian scale with 3 sharp, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Okay, now let's move to the key of D. D Persian scale. Write down D as a first. First to the second is a half step, so it's a D sharp. The second to the third is a whole and a half, so it's E, F sharp. Third to fourth is a half step, so it's a G. Fourth to fifth is a half step, so it's G sharp. Fifth to sixth is a whole step, so A sharp. Six to seven is a whole and a half, so that's G, C sharp. And then to the 8, 1 octave scale right here for you. First to the 8, you have a D Persian scale with 5 sharp. D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. Let's move to the key of E Persian scale. Write out E as the first. First to second is a half step, so it's an F. Second to the third is a whole and a half, so it's a G sharp. Third to fourth is a half step, so it's A. Fourth to fifth is a half step, so it's A sharp. Fifth to sixth is not on the formula, so it's a whole step. 6 to 7 is a whole and a half. It's your 8th step. You got the E Persian scale with 3 sharp. G sharp, A sharp, and D sharp. Let's move to the key of F Persian scale. Write down F as the first. First to the second is a whole half step, so it's F sharp. Second to the third is a whole and a half. A. Third to fourth is a half step, so it's A sharp. Fourth to fifth is a half step, so it's a G. Fifth to sixth is a whole step, so it's an A. I'm sorry, I made a mistake right here. Okay, let's start over. First to the second is a half step, so it's an F sharp. Second to third is a whole and a half, so the G is an A. Third to the fourth is a half step, so it's A sharp. Fourth to the fifth is half step, so it's a B. Fifth to the sixth is a whole step, so it's a C sharp. Sixth to the seventh is a whole and a half, so it's E. 7 to the 8, closing the scale out with the 8, it's the F right here, so it's half step right here. Okay? You have an F Persian scale with 3 sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. Move to the key of G Persian scale. G as the first to second is a half step, so it's a G sharp. Second to the third is a whole and a half, so it's a D. Third to the fourth is a half step, so it's a C. Fourth to the fifth is a half step, so it's a C sharp. Fifth to the sixth is a whole step, so it's a D sharp. Sixth to the seventh is a whole and a half, so F sharp. And a half step to the eighth. Go down your 1 octave scale from first to 8. You have a G Persian scale with 4 sharp, G sharp, C sharp, D sharp, and F sharp. Let's move to the key of A Persian scale. Write out A as the first to the second is a half step, so it's an A sharp. Second to the third is a whole and a half, so it's a C sharp. Third to fourth is a half step, so it's a D. Fourth to fifth is a half step, so it's a D sharp. Fifth to sixth is a whole step, so it's F. Sixth to seventh is a whole and a half, so it's a G sharp. And a half step to the 8. First to the 8, 1 octave scale. You have the A Persian scale with 4 sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, and G sharp. Move to the key of B Persian scale. Write down B as the first to the second is a half, so it's a C. Second to the third is a whole and a half, so it's a D sharp. Third to the fourth is a half step, so it's an E. Fourth to the fifth is a half step, so it's an F. Fifth to the sixth is a whole step, so it's a G. Sixth to the seventh is a whole and a half, so it's an A sharp. 7 to 8 is a half step, go down the octave from first to the 8. Then you have the B Persian scale with 2 sharp, D sharp and A sharp. I leave the accidental keys, the C sharp, the D flat, the F sharp, the G flat, and the G sharp and the A flat for you to practice. Follow the formula of the Persian scale, half step at 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 4 and 5th, and a whole and a half at 2 and 3 and 6 and 7. Balance your key from left to right. Do it slowly, follow it. Practice, you will get it. When you get it in your mind, put it on the guitar. Do it slowly, pay attention where your root, the tonic, the first is. Recognize the note on the fretboard, It takes time to learn. I hope this lesson will help you. Thank you.